it's Sharon Hujik with Grow Digital Pro, where women learn to launch and grow their digital marketing side hustle so they never stress out when their kids are sick anymore, dreading who is going to pick the personal time off this time, or trading their hours for dollars, or God forbid, having to miss another big thing for your kids because some stupid meeting ran long and you didn't even want to be there. No, instead, we're trading in all of that to be liberated. So you have control over your income, over your schedule, and you get to pick what's important to you. Now, we're talking about how these entrepreneurial growth feelings can kick in, where sometimes it feels stressful. Sometimes it feels that you're in over your head. And sometimes your mindset can be the problem in terms of like, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? How is it that other people are succeeding and you don't feel like you're getting there yet? Because when we start out doing this side hustle, whether it's to replace income, to stay home, we have a vision, and it's a great vision. It's a purpose for why we're doing it, right? And you think about it like, that's where I want to be. That reality is what I'm motivated by, right? And that is, I think, a really beautiful target that we are working to achieve. And there's a temptation to feel frustrated that you haven't gotten there yet, right? Because that target of where you want to go, that income target, it's motivating, but it's easy to recognize that there is a gap between where you are today and where you want to be. And Dan Sullivan, who is a brilliant and famous coach, who is absolutely somebody that I would recommend learning from, has a book that came out that is kind of calls out high achieving entrepreneurs to recognize. It's called The Gap and the Gain. And basically the idea is like, when we are motivated by something, let's say that ideal of what we're working towards is on the horizon. So we're here where we are. Let's say we're staying in a field and we see our destination in front of us. And that's what we're working towards. And we know that there's a gap between where we are and where we want to be, right? And as we're working towards that, the horizon doesn't get closer. We're always working towards that. So, you might be a new entrepreneur saying, oh, I can't wait till I land my first client. Well, maybe you're an entrepreneur that's now said, I have landed clients and now I want to scale so that they're paying me more. Or maybe you have clients and they're paying you more, but you want to be able to economize and find efficiencies in the time that you're working on. Or maybe you want to land a 5-figure client instead of a 4-figure. Whatever it is, you're always challenging yourself to work towards that horizon. And that's great. That's necessary. That's good, right? That's the gap of where you are today and where you're hoping to achieve. But if you're comparing yourself to that ideal of what you're working towards and never recognizing how much progress you've made, how much you've gained, and to be where you are today, you're always going to be frustrated. You're always going to feel like I'm a failure. I'm not getting there. I can't accomplish anything. I'm in a valley. This is just too hard. And what Dan Sullivan challenges us to think about is like, what are you comparing yourself to? And so I'll ask you that question. When you are feeling defeated and discouraged and falling into the trap of like, I can't do this, are you comparing yourself to the person who a month ago didn't have the courage to say yes to an opportunity? Are you comparing yourself to the person who a year ago didn't know how to be able to break out of the frustratingly stressful reality of where your family was? Because you have made strides, you have gained. It takes a lot of courage and bravery to say, I'm making this change. I'm going to do this. And maybe even in that short time, you've learned, wow, there's potential here with digital marketing. Maybe you've learned, I didn't even know pixels existed, let alone the fact that I need to have one. Maybe you didn't realize that people are making as much money as they are doing and providing this service. You've gained knowledge, you've gained information, and okay, maybe you haven't realized all of that's there. But don't compare yourself to the person you want to be. Use that to motivate you for what you're working towards. But celebrate the gains too. Celebrate the fact that you have achieved and made a commitment to something. And that brings That's not a small thing. There are most people who never say yes. Most people chicken out before they push that button. And you didn't chicken out. You're here. You're doing the work. You're committed to making this change. And yeah, it's hard and it's uncomfortable, but there's a gain that you've given yourself permission to grab. Don't throw that baby out with the bathwater. Be like, yeah, I'm doing it. This is hard, but I'm going to make this work. I'm going to be persevering. I'm going to recognize that I have problem solving skills. I'm going to recognize that sometimes I need to give myself grace to just step away or articulate the problem. I'm going to give myself permission to take a deep breath because I know I can do this. And that motivation, that horizon's going to be there, and I have resources to be able to pull it off because you're here for a purpose. This isn't by accident. This didn't happen by mistake. And the reasons why you're doing it are still there. So we're going to focus on the gains that you have and all the things that you've learned, and all of the successes that are in front of you are going to be building on the steps you're taking right now. Okay? Deep breath. This is real, I promise. And you're worth it.